Hej, witam wszystkich imperialistów, tutaj Lukas w kolejnym odcinku z gry Vampire. No i dalej sobie tutaj chodzę, tak próbuję pogadać.
Good evening, sir.
Reed,
A, Jonathan, już z tym typem... Nie, z tym nie gadaliśmy jeszcze. Okej.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Bole, skąd ta
There's
wrogość?
no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
No a też kurka, bez eksperymentów lekarskich, no to dzisiaj byśmy nadal się leczyli, nie wiem, uga buga.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
No a to już chyba z nim rozmawialiśmy, z tym doktorem, o którym tu jest mowa.
I strongly
I
believe
wiemy, że on
that
tego
Mr.
nie robi
Fiddick
dla chwały.
should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
Dobra, myślę, że tutaj się dowiedzieliśmy wszystkiego. Wejwie nie popiera nowoczesnej medycyny. O, młotkiem by mnie pewnie dalej leczył, siekierą.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you.
Co?
You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
No okej, czyli w jednej sprawie się z nim zgadzamy.
Thank you
Nie
for
lubię
your
tego
time.
typa. Pewnie go wyssę jako pierwszego. A byłem pewien, że z nim rozmawiałem, no nic, nieważne. Ale tu serio, te postacie są tak wyglądają dość podobne do siebie, więc...
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Dopiero tu przyjechaliśmy.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Uuu.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes. Thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Okej.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not...
Okej, Ben nie jest przekonany do skuteczności służb zdrowia w szpitalu. Okej.
especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Okej, po swoim przyjeździe.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Aha, kazała płacić.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
No okej, nieźle.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Okej, a u nas by jednak w Polsce nadal jest to taki standardzik. Okej, tu
Goodbye,
wszystko.
Mrs. Goswick.
Porozmawiamy o jej synu.
Don't waste your time with me.
Jak to
Good
nic nie
evening.
dolega?
I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I
Co mu się
suppose
stało?
that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your
Mnie to
sore throat is
zaintrygowało.
just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Co dziwny typu.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Ha! Niezła
Pembroke
laska.
Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Okej.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk.
I'll let you get...
Dobra, to jak sprawdzałem te inne ścieżki, ale to chyba nie ma sensu, bo tak samo u tej matki były inne ścieżki rozmowy. Okej, tu rozmawialiśmy, to...
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Z Dorotką już rozmawialiśmy chyba, tak,
Thank you,
zgadza
Nurse.
się. Okej, tutaj jest jeszcze pan, jakiś łysol.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Aha.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Serio? Dopiero przyjechałem i już o mnie tak dobrze wszyscy mówią?
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me, and now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Co?
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Czekaj. Londyn, 1918, niemieckie bombardowanie. Czy to jest po II wojnie światowej? Nie, no po pierwszej.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, doctor.
Czy gdzieś tutaj była data? Ej, sorry, ja gdzieś wszędzie miałem wrażenie, że jak czytałem, to było powiedziane, że to jest po I wojnie światowej.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target.
Serio? Używano wtedy też
My
zepelinów?
wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Serio?
So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children?
Może i
after
zjemy.
losing-
Ua.
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
No
Goodbye
okej.
for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see.
Tutaj mamy porozmawiane.
As for me,
Okej, z tym typem już rozmawialiśmy. Ja właśnie myślałem, że to z nim wcześniej rozmawialiśmy i pomyliłem lekarzy. No i tu mamy wyjście, co tutaj mamy? Grupą nie jestem przyjęli nowych pacjentów. Okej, mamy pełen hospital. Dobra, na razie chcę się rozejrzeć w środku, zobaczyć wszystko. Fajny ten cień zrobiony, chociaż ostatnio czytałem artykuł na temat tego, czemu się już nie robi odbić w lustrze w grach. Okej, tutaj jest jeszcze chyba ktoś, z kim nie rozmawialiśmy. I przy okazji jakaś skrzynka, ale zablokowana. Dzień dobry panu. Pana
It's locked, all right.
Reker? Jakiś Hindus.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean? You used to be a doctor. Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Aha, czyli kolejny sklepikarz.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
Boże, jakie niezłe postrzeganie ludzi.
And quite an exotic one too. Most people fear or at least have a respect for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous
wiemy,
place
że
with many
niebezpieczne.
an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Okej, wróć.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Okej, trochę się dowiedzieliśmy.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade. I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Okej.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill can
Ciekawe.
last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse.
A ja tam bym chciał
And
być
I like to be
nieśmiertelny.
helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed, I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Niezły typ. No w sumie jak dla mnie to taki dość mądry, to co ja mogę u niego zakupić?
Of course.
Jakieś drobiazgi, enigmatyczna receptura. No okej, kiedyś to może tu wrócę i zobaczę, co będę mógł tu kupować.
The dead seem peaceful
Okay.
and lost at the same time.
Czyli to skrzydło zbadaliśmy. Jeszcze się upewnię, że na pewno z tym
Good
rozmawiałem.
evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
O,
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
obaj się dosłownie tak samo postrzegają, nie? Ciekawe. Muszę sobie ten cały system jakoś obczaić, jak to tutaj działa.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Jak z kim rozmawiać i tak dalej, i tak dalej. A, tutaj wróciliśmy. To już oba skrzydła mamy chyba teraz sprawdzone. Jeszcze nie wiem, czy z nią rozmawialiśmy?
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
Pipa.
I don't
Chyba
think
nie.
we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
To jest ta choroba, co zabiła
You must
3%
get a hold
ludzkości?
of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Okej.
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Okej.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
No okej, trochę sobie porozmawialiśmy.
Goodbye, Nurse
Myślałem, że u
Hawkins.
niej mieliśmy wskazówkę. Myślałem, że to jest ta przekupna siostra, ale nie. To może jeszcze... Dobra, tam widzę, że też są jakieś kolejne nowe osoby, ale w sumie już teraz muszę się zbierać i kończyć ten odcinek. Więc może zajrzyjmy jeszcze do naszego pokoju. Co tam jest? Miało być w górę, w lewo, jak wejdziemy, więc tędy. I na końcu korytarza. Piła, dajesz. Będę kubą rozpływaczem. W sumie to mogliby zrobić taką grę, gdzie się jest kubą rozpływaczem. Grałbym. W sumie to... Czemu nikt nie zrobił takiej gry? Wiecie, polegałoby na to, że trzeba, nie wiem, pozwiedzać, coś tam, zaplanować morderstwo i tak dalej, potem idziesz, wypruwasz wszystkie flaki, A teraz jeszcze przecież zdejmują cenzurę ze Steama, więc... Okej. Nasz pokój. Okej, jakieś rzeczy.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Okej, mogę podać kwiatek. Tutaj jest warsztat krawiecki. I możemy się przespać, zapisać. Co tutaj mamy? Uzupełnić wszystko. Okej. To jesteśmy w miejscu naszego spoczynku wiecznego. Dzięki wam na razie za oglądanie i widzimy się już jutro o godzinie 18. Do zobaczenia. Pa, pa!